While authorities are still trying to figure out what exactly happened, Democrats and the media wasting no time to turn the tragedy in Texas political. The usual suspects mocking Republican ideas to harden schools and focus on mental health. Listen.
Please spare me, but don't politicize this. That's BS. To hell with anybody who says don't politicize this.
It's time to repeal the Second Amendment. Oh, you can't say that. Well, why not?
The guy called Beto a sick son of a bitch. The sick son of a bitches were the ones up on that stage that keep the freaks on that stage.
What an absolute fraud the governor of Texas is. No amount of bloodshed seems to be enough for MAGA Republicans.
Oh, I don't know, Greg. I've been following the coverage pretty closely, and it seems like a lot of the conservative commentators and the conservative politicians have been talking about solutions, and a lot of the Democrats and the left-wing media have been attacking Republicans.
Well, when you don't have an argument, you go after the person. And I think that's what you always see with Morning Blow. They're just constantly, you know, they are quite possibly the dumbest people on television. Together, they can't get one brain cell. So actually, I'm doing exactly what they're doing. The problem with this discussion is that in a lot of political discussions, you're condemned if you have two thoughts in your head. You must have a single variable thought, right? It's like the Dems can only scream it's guns. But in the same regard, the Republicans might just say it's the perpetrator, when actually these variables can intersect. You can say the person responsible for this killing is that person, that fiend alone, but having that rifle made him more effective. Should we discuss that? Should we try to test a ban? I mean, Geraldo's brought it up a bunch of times, and it's been around for a while, raising the age of the rifle to 18 to 21. I don't see that as thoroughly irrational, especially if you put an expiration date on it so you can compare 3 years or 5 years of it against something else. But the thing is, I mean, why not address the root causes? Because it's just like those videos that we did when we looked at George Floyd and other people in these police encounters. We get there when it's over. And then we sit, we pick it apart, and we act like we're the experts. But these spectacles, even though they're not rare enough, they are rare enough that we can analyze each one the way you can analyze those videos, and you will yield some common threads, whether it is untreated mental illness, whether it is bullying, whether it is broken homes, whether it's lack of security, whether it is media amplification, which happens to be my thing that I talk about all the time. I don't think it's right to keep doing this all the time. But you can actually come up with solutions if you decide to entertain more than one variable. None of those people that you showed are capable of entertaining more than one variable. They're stuck in one rut, and they will never get out of it. We are at least able here on The Five to discuss these things. We can discuss it and disagree. They're incapable.
I'm wondering if the media makes it difficult for the Democrats in Washington to compromise with Republicans to do a deal, Katie.
Yeah, I think so. First, full disclosure, I do some social media work with Volcourts and Firearms, and I've been a long-time Second Amendment advocate. So as we're talking about gun control, important to get that out there. But yes, it does make it harder for Democrats who maybe want to come to the table and have a real adult conversation, as you would say, about this issue. And the arrogance that we've seen from the media, the majority of them, the ignorance that we've seen from them, they scoff and ignore and make fun of real experts out in America who understand what it's like to go and bolster school safety, who happen to be part of the firearms community, who know what they're doing to keep kids and their communities safe. But because they might be NRA members or because they own firearms, they are ignored, and therefore the problem is never solved. I've seen a few things on solutions that have been offered. The 21 age limit, that just got shut down in California. They tried to limit the purchase of firearms for anyone under the age of 21, unconstitutional. The issue of mental health, this guy reportedly cut his face on his own. That is something that someone should go to an institution for. And if you fill out a background check, you are asked, and if you answer honestly, if you've ever been put into a mental institution. And if you say yes, your background check should fail. He passed that background check. And finally, I would just say, politicians who sit around and say we need to do something when they know it, A, won't work, and B, tell people it will work, that's not productive. That's lying. That's dishonest. So work on things that will actually solve the problem and listen to real experts, not 99% of the people in the media who have no idea what they're talking about.
Harold, I'm wondering if you fill out a background check and you just lie all over the background check.
Like Hunter Biden.
Like Hunter Biden did. I mean, if that's an effective background check.
Of course not. Look, Australia's had one mass shooting since 1996. They have brought about, they've placed public safety and public health, I think, over some of the things. They prioritize it differently than we have. Katie, I would differ with you on some of the things that you shared. I don't differ with you on your passion and commitment to gun safety. But think about this. In most states, you have to have hundreds of hours of training to cut someone's hair to get a license. This young man in Texas apparently was able to get an AR-15 with no training. I shared the data point a few minutes ago. 3,448 days, there have been 900 shootings. Now, I think we should put all of them on the table. And I'm one that believes I've tried my hardest when I was in Congress to work with Republicans, to work with liberal Democrats, conservative Democrats. Sometimes liberal Democrats didn't want to work with me because they thought I was too conservative. The truth of the matter is we have to figure out how you get more resource officers in schools. I walked past a sneaker store today near my kid's school. There were 2 armed guys, looked like they were Navy SEALs outside that sneaker store. We should have that in every school. If we don't have the wherewithal, resources, put aside the partisanship, everybody's got to come to the table and figure out what are we not doing to secure and make our schools safe from these mass shootings. Set aside subways and streets and others. Our schools. Judge, you and I have both been dead had we been at that school because of what happened there. We have to figure out also police officers and police departments have to understand what the protocol is when they go to these schools.
Yeah, better training.
We should not, as parents, come to a school and wonder who's in charge. Do you guys know what you're doing? That's their job. So there's so many things that need to be put on the table here. And simply, I would agree with you in this regard, Kate. Guns is not the only thing. But we are fools if we don't believe we have to have a serious conversation about how reasonable and sensible steps we can take around public safety to deal with guns.
Judge.
You know, one of the things about guns is that when you look at Chicago, I mean, that is just a fact. Guns are illegal in Chicago. Chicago has more killings than we see anywhere else in the country. They have it every weekend. Kids don't even run at the sound of a gun. All right. So, you know, they want to make this illegal and that illegal. But here's the problem. New York City was once the safest large city not that long ago in the United States. The reason we're not safe anymore, the reason crime is surging is not because of an increase, it's not because of COVID, it's not because of the pandemic. It's because these same people and their social justice agenda have decided that we got to let everybody out on bail. Let's not keep anybody in jail, even if we think they're a danger, even if they have a gun. Let's let them out with their gun. And in the end, let's demoralize and defund the police. Now, who is at risk? The blacks, the brown people, everybody, all the minorities are at risk. So this is all politics. And the fundamental problem we have in this country is that the politicians want to fight with each other. They don't want to solve anything. They could solve issues like immigration. They could solve issues having to do with guns. Katie's right. The Ninth Circuit came down and said, you cannot tell us how old somebody has to be to buy a gun. That's the Ninth Circuit. The Ninth Circuit in California, do you know how liberal they are? So, you know, let's just get together and recognize that these people are only looking for the next election.
I like to stand up for the white guy. The white guy likes their neighborhood safe as well, not just the blacks.
Speak for yourself, Harold. Yeah. Up next, the far left and President Biden piling on police as liberal cities brace for a brutal summer of violence.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.